Okay, I'm trading here today. Practice on a demo, $17,229 starting. I'm just using a random indicator to show me the levels and the patterns in the market. I'm using the Bulls Power on the default setting of 13. I'm using 5-second candles and 5-second expiries. I'm looking for levels and the behavior of the candle more than anything. So I'm going to pick an asset here. And this right here is kind of going sideways. If it breaks up or down, I might try to find an entry point. Right there, I'm going to try to get this on a pullback right here a little bit. I'm still going to go on the upside since we had a strong push up. And I'm going to try to take those levels going up. Okay, I did lose the end there, but I also won a lot. So what I'm looking at is that big push, 4 candles back right here on that one, and then here's another big one, but I'm going to try to catch it on a pullback. If it does pull back to right there, would be a great level. Then I'm going to buy it up slowly at this level in hopes of a continuation. That's a bottom hold level there. That's going to hold at the bottom of that sideways trend line. So you can see that the bottom, there was a sideways trend line that it pushed down to. Here's another gap that might get filled and continue up. Okay. So right here we just happen to catch a lot of momentum on a demo account. We're ending at 18,629. We're on an Apple OTC. Okay, we just used the behavior of the candles and excuse me, and the Bulls Power just to show us the overall trend and the overall patterns at the bottom of the screen. But that time we saw this gap up right here. There's a little gap up in the middle of the screen, and it pulled back to that gap, and then it jumped back straight up. Okay, now it's slowing down to the upside, and it's probably going to start coming down, and the Bulls Power is showing that gap down, and we can try to take some of that going down, and if it pulls back to that gap, we could try to take it, but it depends how much momentum we have. Depends if it's a sideways market or if we're trending up. So we don't see anything there because now we're just out here in the middle, and we're coming back to that gap, but now we're pushing hard to the upside. And so now we're going to try to take that gap going up if there's a continuation. So there is a continuation because of that giant impulse. There's a giant impulse right here, and then it got pushed right back down, but then it did continue straight up, okay? And we still see some of that momentum going up there. Okay, so we can use gaps, we can use trend line levels sideways straight across horizontal, or we can draw on our trend lines sideways at the bottom and top, however we see the resistance and support. Then we pay attention to the behavior of the candle more than anything to see if there's an impulse and to see the overall direction first of all. Now these directions, for example, here it's kind of going sideways up and down. There's a sideways market here. Then when it starts breaking up, we took it. Now we're still going to the upside because these low highs are still holding, but if it comes down to that, and this level breaks down like right there, we'll start taking it down. And because once it broke that down level, it probably will continue down. Okay, even though it's slow in doing so, it did continue once it broke that level, and then we're going to buy it back at that level in hopes of a continuation down, but we don't know if there's still a lot of momentum going up. Okay, so right now it's cooling down a little bit, and the Bulls Power is showing that as well a little bit now. So it is a little bit of a guessing game, but we observe the overall momentum, and then we observe broken levels. And here we're trying to break the top level, but we're not going to buy really fast yet because this would be a good level to buy going up if there's a continuation. Okay, we don't always know if there will be a continuation, but the overall momentum is still going up. Okay, and there was. And so we did buy at that low level, but we didn't buy it too fast because the movement was kind of slowing down. So it's hard because the candle's going to move really fast, but if you buy it at the top of the candle, it might pull back. So you're looking for broken levels. This is a small breakdown right there. And we're going sideways. If it breaks to the upside, we might start taking a little bit, since there was a lot of momentum going up. And there's a little bit more momentum, but it's not real heavy yet. So we tie it on the last, okay? So we are getting a lot of wins here. As you can see, we're getting some losses. We're trying not to just buy unless we see a level. Like here we see a bottom level, so we can buy slowly. And we can try to pick off the bottom level that's still holding. Now we're still got a little bit more momentum going up, and so we're trying to buy that because we keep see that it's teasing us to go up. But again, we came back down there, and now we're just fighting to see which way it's going to break out. Okay, we're going sideways essentially, and now it did break to the downside a little bit, so we'll start buying slowly to the down. Okay, we'll buy at that level right there in hopes of a continuation. So we might get a continuation, or it might just hover. It did break down the level a little bit. We're going sideways, and I feel like it's cooling off to the upside a little bit, and that's why that level is now broken, and I feel like we can start buying slowly down. Okay, I bought a bunch right there, but I might lose those if it did continue down, so we pulled it off there. Now we got that big sink. If it get a pullback, it would be nice to buy there. I'm going to keep buying to the downside because of that previous push down. There's a big push. We just don't want to buy too fast because we're on a 5-second expiry still. I still feel like the momentum will continue down, and I still feel like we could go sideways or down. But we had that big push to the upside still as well. So essentially we're just going sideways right now, and now it looks like we're trying to break the top level, and then now we're just going back and forth, so we don't know which levels are going to hold, okay, because everything is just kind of cooling off. So now it's just a giant guessing game, and we're back at 19,293. Okay, so that got a little scary there. That's when you start getting chopped out. Is when it's kind of holding levels, but it's kind of erratic as well. It's not real stable and predictable. So you're just looking at those patterns and trying to find broken levels, but then you're also looking for momentum. I like this gap here. I'm going to buy that gap going down, and it's just hovering around the gap. It did go back down, but it didn't stay down. Now we're looking for this upper level to be broken. We had a gap up. We're going to buy slowly up, and especially buy up on that gap level in hopes of a continuation up. We bought a bunch at that broken level, and it did break on through, but we're still at 19,149. Okay, all right, we're going to stop there for now. We're just illustrating some gaps and some levels. So this is having a nice trend up, so we can buy one, then we can double buy under that in the hopes of a continuation. Then we're going to quadruple buy in hopes of continuation up still, and we did get those at the end, because when we see a bunch of candles like that, we know that we're on a big uptrend right there. But if it slows down, then we need to get out and just stop and take the loss. Okay, here we might have a broken level down. I feel like the levels are starting to break down a little bit because the momentum, the speed of the movement is slowing way down. Now it picked back up, so we got chopped out at the end, but we did win some, and we might continue to the upside a little bit. We probably overbought there. I'm going to buy trying to go up, but now the level is breaking down to the downside. So I'm buying to the downside still, slowly and consecutively. This could pop either way. This could pop either way. But we did have that movement to the downside, but we're essentially going sideways right now. So we still walked away with the shirt on our back. And that's just kind of scary, so we're going to get out of there. Okay, it looks like this trend level is holding at the bottom. Now, once the candle pops up, we don't want to keep buying until it pulls back to a level, like where that small gap is possibly. Okay, that was a big candle, so we had continued momentum. Okay, that's all for today. We're going to end at 18,061. You can see that we're down a little bit from where we were, but we're still up overall. Okay, and essentially we are over trading, and so we're trying not to take too many wild guesses because that's how we wipe out our account. Okay, ending at 18,061.